Hi, everyone. I'm Robert Chatwani, Chief Marketing Officer here at Atlassian. I'm incredibly excited to be with you today to share a fantastic Jira Service Management customer story. Today, we're going to hear from our friends at Ossur. Ossur is a global leader in prosthetic and medical support technology. They're based out of Iceland, and their technology helps patients throughout the world. For over 50 years, they've been focused on helping with the mobility of patients as they try to get back to their normal lives. Their mission is incredibly exciting for me and tremendously motivating. It's life without limitations. Now, before we get started, check out this incredible video to learn more about this fantastic company. Wasn't that inspiring? I now have the pleasure of welcoming Valgeir Sigurðsson from Ossur. His title is Senior Applications Engineer of IT, and they've been using Atlassian solutions for over 6 years. Valgeir, thank you so much for joining us today for our high velocity event.
Thank you, Robert. I'm very happy to be here with you.
Now, let's learn a little bit about this incredible company that you've been a part of. Can you tell us a bit more about Ossur, the mission, the company's purpose, and how it serves patients throughout the world?
Yeah, so the company was started in the 70s. And in the beginning, it was just a guy in a garage making prosthetic legs, which is pretty amazing. And it was growing slowly just as an Icelandic company. But in 86, he made an invention, or the company made an invention, which was a silicone liner, which is kind of a sock that you put over the stop. That sock connects to the prosthetic and it protects the patient or the amputee. And that was an actual revolution in the prosthetic industry. And that kick-started the company to being the global and the leading prosthetic company that it is today.
Amazing. And the company's mission is to improve people's mobility so they can live life without limitations. You've served everyday patients of all ages, I've noticed and I've seen, all the way up through high performance athletes. Is that right?
Yeah. So we serve all patients. And, when you mention the athletes, that's probably one of our most visible product, which is the blades that the runners are using in the Olympics.
Yeah, those runners are fantastic. High performance athletes, and those runner blades just look precision engineered. And I know that there's a lot of technology that goes into your products, microprocessors, ankles with AI sensors to adjust different positions. And so what initially to me just appeared like a prosthetics company, which in itself is remarkable, it strikes me that Ossur is really a technology company that happens to make prosthetics. Is that the right way to think about it?
Well, yes, it's obviously first and foremost a prosthetic company, but it's definitely technology oriented, and the fact that we have bionic knees and we're working on mind control technology as well for our prosthetic lower limbs for amputees.
Wow.
So it's definitely technology oriented. And
yeah. Well, we're going to talk a lot more about this because it's the intersection of how different teams need to come together to create a really sophisticated product like a prosthetic that I know I want to learn about and our audience really wants to learn a lot more about. And I know Jira Service Management and frankly, Atlassian solutions have played a big role in helping to power teamwork at Ossur. Just broadly speaking, as you look across the company, within and beyond IT, how have Atlassian products helped Ossur scale? Can you walk me through, the evolution of Atlassian products within your company?
Yeah, so we're using Jira Service Management, obviously. We're using Jira software and Confluence, and then we're using Bitbucket as well. And on top of that, we have various add-ons that we're using as well. The benefits of having all of this is that it has become this whole package. So we have the development team working with IT service management, and And that ability to connect dev teams to Jira Service Management is priceless. And it has helped us in a lot of ways. Ossur started using Atlassian products in 2016, which was the year that I started with the company. We had around maybe, 60 users, licensed users using Atlassian products. And this started growing pretty fast. So as soon as we started implementing it for IT support and people started noticing it when they were interacting with IT support, more people wanted to get it, obviously. And it has grown quite organically within the company.
Mm-hmm.
So I have never had to sell the product to other departments. They've usually just come to me.
Yeah, that's great. We sort of have a philosophy here at Atlassian that, great software is bought, not sold. And so I'm excited to hear that the way that our products have grown within the company feels, like you said, very organic and natural. That's great to hear. Yeah.
Exactly. And it has been an exponential growth. So we've gone from maybe 60 users using the Atlassian products to we have about 1,200 licensed users now, 600 service management users. And, for Confluence and for Jira Software, Jira Service Management combined, it's about 1,200.
Yeah, that's fantastic. That's 20x growth. And it sounds like, 600 individuals engaged in Jira Service Management, truly, enterprise-wide deployment. Congratulations on being, on the team that's helped to make that possible. We like to say that individuals like you who work in the IT organization or dev organization are truly helping to unleash the potential of teams throughout the company. Sort of has that multiplier effect. So that's a great story. Walk me through some of the pain points and challenges of not having a single integrated solution like JSM.
So I think the limitation was, with the software that we were using, was that it wasn't really a specialized package for IT. So, and the pain point was that we needed better collaboration between IT development teams, between IT operations, and then obviously the service management teams, so like the IT support teams. And we needed all of this to come together. And so what we wanted and what we needed was obviously to get it in a single package, to just work on it, all of these things in the same platform.
Yeah. When teams are unified, it just helps for work to flow between organizations. And, we talk a lot about dev and IT teams at Atlassian and how we truly differentiate ourselves by bringing IT ops and engineering teams together. But to me, it sounds like at Ossur, it's really been throughout the entire organization, which is incredibly powerful. Valgeir, we're going to switch gears a little bit. A company with such a bold mission and a meaningful motto. I love the company's purpose. Really needs to keep up with innovation, right? This idea of making life without limitations possible. So how does Jira Service Management actually help the company on its innovation agenda, keeping up with the pace of change and the need for teams to come together and drive innovation?
Obviously, when you have a tool that is so easy to use for both the end user and for the team that are working on the actual requests, it makes a massive difference. We are reducing the manual steps in our processes, and I can give you an example of where this has helped tremendously with the innovation. So the prototyping team is working on a specific Jira Service Management project where they are just managing work requests for prototyping. And that definitely increases the pace of the development of products or components and allows us to track the work much better. So this work is usually or pretty much always related to projects on our end. We need to assign cost to those projects. And this allows us to track the work that the prototyping team is bringing to those projects because they are logging their hours into each issue that they're working on.
And it's the prototyping team not just working in isolation, right? They're working with machine and operations teams and the adjacent teams that they need to partner with to take in those requests and then update all of those workflows.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. uh, teams working in true harmony. It sounds like the ability for them to feel like they're in rhythm is really helped to improve innovation and speed of innovation at the company. That's great. Now, you've given us examples of how JSM has played a big role in helping to bring teams together, sort of that harmony that I talked about. What are some of the milestones on the journey with Jira Service Management so far?
The Icelandic office has what they call the suggestion box, which allows employees, so all employees from the Icelandic office, can create suggestions to improve the workplace for safety, for productivity,
Mm-hmm.
for just making the workplace a better place for everybody. And this has been going on for years. And it was implemented in SharePoint.
Mm-hmm.
So at SharePoint forums where they were creating these suggestions and maintaining them. And we were getting so many suggestions that it was becoming quite difficult to maintain and track. The great milestone that I was talking about earlier was that in the first year, which was last year, so 2021, we implemented 1,422 suggestions in the workplace, so in the company, only in Iceland.
Wow.
That's a record. That was a record. So the old was around 1,100. So it took a jump from 1,100 to 1,400, over 1,400 suggestions that were actually implemented. So we were seeing quite a massive growth in the suggestions, and that's basically because it was easy to use for everybody.
Yeah, you brought down the barrier for individuals to contribute great ideas, sort of removing that friction. Yeah. Well, 1422 is a large number, so I can sense that the teams have kept you quite busy making sure that everybody has access to JSM. And I love hearing about the teamwork, because that's an example of not just a requester, but a whole workflow and process, and then individual teams who have to do something with those ideas. And so this concept of ideas to action, 10 ideas per employee implemented, which is just a remarkable stat, and I think speaks a lot about your company. So I love hearing these stories of teamwork. I also know that change management can be difficult sometimes, right? Taking an organization through that shift. You mentioned existing ways of working, then moving and integrating into Jira Service Management as an example. I'd love to know how you are using JSM for other purposes within the organization, not just workflow management, but things like tracking your hardware and software assets. Can you tell us how you're using assets currently?
We implemented assets last year,
Mm-hmm.
2021, late 2021. And the reason for that was that we were seeing massive problems with our application landscape. We weren't really tracking our applications thoroughly, so we were losing sight of which applications we had, where they were, who's the owner of those applications, what are we paying for it. This was something that was just, we were in the dark as an IT department. So as a part of fixing that problem, we implemented assets.
Mm-hmm.
Started the work of gathering the information from all the different departments, which application they are using and what they're doing with it, who's responsible for it. And we gather that data in assets. And the beauty of it is that now we're able to assign owners to all of these applications.
Yeah, and now you have a system of record in a way to ensure that each of those applications has someone responsible for the health or maintenance of that app. Is that right?
Exactly.
Yeah.
And so somebody's responsible for these applications and the cost that we get from these applications. And this also helps us find duplicates. So applications, we had multiple applications doing the same thing.
Yeah.
Different departments were using. So it helps us reduce our application assets.
Well, it sounds like you're really pushing the limits of Jira Service Management and taking advantage of all of the powerful capabilities, that this product has to offer. So we've heard a lot about the success of Jira Service Management so far, but tell us, where does it go from here? What's next?
I will definitely keep being busy just supporting the growth of Jira Service Management within the company. And I am currently working on 2 more service management projects, and we have 2 more coming. And we also want to expand our use of assets. And the next step in that path is physical assets. Now that we have our application landscape sorted, we want to track our physical assets, and that'll be tremendous just to be able to link physical assets like hardware into our Jira issues, and that'll be great. And then for incident management, that's definitely something that we want to sharpen within Jira Service Management. So that'll be Q1 for us, pretty much.
That's fantastic. So expansion by taking assets into hardware tracking, and then another obviously mission critical workflow and capability, which is incident management. When I hear that, I absolutely understand and see how you're going to be very busy, which we love. So congratulations on the impact that you're having there. Valgeir, it sounds like you've really found incredible ways to unleash potential of your teams and work at high velocity and deliver these incredible customer experiences, both for employees and the customers that you serve, all powered by Jira Service Management. So these are exactly the kinds of stories that we are inspired about hearing. And so congratulations on the incredible impact that you've had within the company. And thank you for being a customer. Thank you for being a champion and such an important part of our community and telling us all about this journey that you've been on. And in so many ways, sounds like you're just getting started.
I definitely am. Thank you very much, Robert. It's my pleasure being here.
You bet. Thanks for being with our audience today. We'll talk soon.